Hello, Galaxy! I am Chris Pirillo, and I want to wish you a happy Life Day. That is why I'm wearing the traditional Life Day garment, the robe, the red robe, crimson. This is what we wear here on Kashyyyk, which is obviously where I am sitting, in the swivel chair, high in the trees. If you listen carefully, you can hear the sounds of nature. Possibly. It may not have been nature, and this may not even be Life Day. I thought it was November 17th, because of course that was the airing of the Star Wars Holiday Special that aired only once, and that was never aired again. But of course, thanks to the magic of the internet, we can watch it over and over again at any point. And we do. Now in this house, it's a tradition. It is an annual tradition. I am wearing a t-shirt, by the way, under my robe. I'm not completely unclothed under this robe. How else should I say it? But this I got it. It's like it's a Life Day robe. That's what you need to get every Life Day, even if no one can seem to agree when Life Day is. I know I'm not the only one who celebrates Life Day. November 17th. That's supposed to be like Life Day. But apparently, there's information, according to Nico Crank on the Discord server, which you are more than welcome to join at live.pirillo.com. Life Day may not actually be on November 17th. Well, when is it? When's Life Day? You know what? Until I have a definitive answer, I'm going to go with what Dennis said here in chat. Every day is Life Day. Every day we celebrate Life Day. I'm not going to wear this robe every day. It's very comfy. It's just very warm, so I'm going to be taking it off here. I wish I could take this off, but unfortunately, this does not come off as easily. This lip brow thing that I'm doing for November. So happy Life Day. Even if you didn't celebrate it on November 17th, we kind of did and made a whole thing about it. But we can celebrate Life Day again if there are no more official dates. Then I guess we can make every day Life Day. Or as I'm prone to say, it's the Life Day season. It kicks off the winter holidays, so we can celebrate Life Day every day. And if you have no idea what Life Day is, shame on you. Shame on you. You're not a good nerd. You're barely a geek. Shame. Shame. That's not what Life Day is about. That's what I'm about, though, if you don't know what Life Day is. Okay, so I'm going to take this off because it is hot underneath. Shocker, I'm wearing Star Wars. So, The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 2, Chapter 2, The Child. I did not do videos Thursday or Friday. Thursday, something came up, and then by Friday, I was watching The Man in the High Castle, Season 4, best season yet. And of course it's over now, so I just got caught up in it. I'm like, I'm not gonna break my stride to go and talk to 20 people online. As much as I love you, don't get me wrong, like Friday evening, I'm like, okay, I'm like entrenched in bed. I'm like, do I really want to get up? No. And then Diana made popcorn. I'm like, that's it, I'm staying here. I'm staying in bed. So that's why you did not get a TLDR on Friday. I'm sure you missed it, and all of you cried about it. I'm sure you're crying now that we're in the midst of a new TLDR. Before I get into the Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2, or Chapter 2, The Child, I did want to bring something up. Airwolf was a little concerned, and I just want to throw it out there. We've got a leaderboard that I guess I was kind of ignoring on the Discord server. If you haven't joined Discord, live.pirillo.com will redirect you. You can join right there. The chat is 24/7. The leaderboard's there for fun. But honestly, a chat room or a chat server is only as good as the people who will participate. So the leaderboard's kind of there to kind of say, okay, here are the people who are participating more. It's not about rewarding people who are participating more. But, just because I set something up doesn't mean that people are actually using it. So it's there for you to use. Let me know what you think about the leaderboard I thought that I'd throw out there. When Hasbro released the new Black Series figures, I was like, why did they release another Jawa? Why was this Jawa released? This one right here. And actually, you can tell this is the newer Jawa because it's got soft goods, the cloak, except for the hat or the headpiece there. but it's got similar weaponry as what we had seen in the other Black Series Jawa figures. So it's not the first Black Series Jawa that we've seen, but the first Black Series Jawa with soft goods. I was wondering about it, and then I watched The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. So, yeah, if you're watching this video, spoilers. And let's face it, I think The Mandalorian, after a week, is spoiled. And I'm saying that because Star Wars today tweeted the baby of the species that seems to be the same species as Yoda. I hesitate to say baby, although it's pretty baby-esque with the cooing sounds that it makes in this episode. But they tweeted a photo. They basically put it out there. So I'm not going to worry about covering up the asset anymore. If Star Wars had put it out there, that's it. Like it's Baby Yoda all the way. Baby Yoda. Just like I did a tweet last night. I'm like, not every Mandalorian is Boba Fett. And I clapped in between. You know how you do that, right? You're supposed to use a clap emoji. Got like really good engagement. So I'm like, oh, apparently that resonates. Because Diana comes in and she sees the Mandalorian. And she says, oh, is that Boba Fett? So on one hand, I'm like proud of her because like she recognized like that someone wearing Mandalorian armor is a lot like Boba Fett. She remembers Boba Fett the name, but the Mandalorian is not Boba Fett. And I was like, dude, not every Mandalorian is Boba Fett. It's not the first time I've heard this. So either way. I enjoyed Season 2, Episode 2. And much like with Star Wars movies, I find it very challenging to rank them. So I'm not likely going to say, oh, I like this one more than the other one because, I think that's disingenuous. I don't think that speaks to, the value of this piece as a part of a greater story. There are elements that I really enjoyed and appreciated differently than the first one, but it was compelling nonetheless. So you're never going to hear me rank. But I was very, very happy with certain sequences in the in this episode. So before I go on any further, I'm going to see how long I can wear this. I'm just all about the sweaters today, and I want to sweat. Numbskull sent another ugly Christmas sweater with Death Star, X-Wings, TIE Fighters, and Rebel insignia, as well as the Imperial insignia on this side. It's a little cool down here, and as soon as I take off the heavy thing, then I get cold. Then I put it on, and I get hot. Soft as always, but what's nice about this is now Diana can wear one, and I can wear one as well. So we're going to cover up the Star Wars with, naturally, more Star Wars. Come on, that's not ugly. That's like pretty. It's beautiful. Who would call this ugly? Not me. Okay, I'd call this ugly. This is the ugliest part of an ugly Christmas sweater is the person wearing it. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. Starts out quiet. We see the for the lack of a better word, the pod that this child is in. So I'd rather call it child than a baby, and certainly rather call it a child than Yoda, because it's not Yoda. So it's floating along, and the first time I watched it, I didn't notice some of the nuance, but I did notice almost immediately that you can't really see the ugliness. Hang on. Okay, is that better for the ugliness? It's like they need to put more ugly up here. What's the point of putting it down here? Like, this is just me. This is Chris Pirillo wearing a sweater. No, this is Chris Pirillo wearing an ugly sweater. Ugly. Here, how about I just do the entire video like this? Is this good? Is this good for everybody? Right there? Can you see everything there? So anyway, I had not caught a couple of the details, like with the Trandoshans running by. You can actually see their shadows passing above the Mandalorian as they're walking. I missed that detail, but I did catch that the lizard-like creatures were kind of paying attention to them. I'm thinking, oh, this is like foreshadowing. I'm like, I wonder if the child, the asset, the child of Yoda's species is force sensitive. So we know that the asset's about 50 years old, but we don't know that much more about it. And obviously we just met it at the end of season 1, chapter 1, or episode 1. So when the lizards were all kind of like figuring out what was going on, I don't think that was because of the Mandalorian. I think they were attracted to the force sensitive nature of the child. At least that was like my initial reaction. Like, dude, they're aware of something that's going on. And then as soon as they scatter, that's when I was like, okay, something else is going on. Trandoshans attack. Wonderful little battle. I love that this is the first time I'm fairly confident, at least in visual Star Wars media, that we'd ever seen like a vaporizer. Like he basically just like whips, like as one of the Trandoshans is like gunning for the child, he whips around, boom, and all you see is like the clothing. I'm like, whoa, like I did, whoa, I was like, holy cow, he got vaporized. But it was great. It was great to see that. And then, of course, he sees the fob laying on the ground, which would be the third fob, if you count the fob that the Mandalorian was handed. The Mandalorian, by the way, does have a name. It was leaked by the actor playing the Mandalorian, but I don't really want to, I don't know if I want to spoil that for everybody if you haven't necessarily chased that down. So that was, it was a fantastic initial scene, kind of set the stage, like this is a wanted bounty. Like, this is going to be a very difficult thing for the Mandalorian to effectively handle. So then they go from there. I'm recapping the entire episode. Yeah, but, I mean, these are the things that absolutely jumped out at me. The fact that I can, like, this 40-minute episode. Like, I'll watch a TV episode, for example. Binging, again, for example. I gotta sit further back, don't I? With my squeaky back. I look better back here, don't I? Like, wait, you can see the chroma key. My green screen. Do I need to move the green? I'd probably move it over a bit. I could. Can you? That's going to annoy me over there. So I gotta. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm no longer annoyed. I'm annoying, but I'm no longer annoyed. So comes up on the ridge. And immediately spies that the Razor Crest is basically in disarray. And Jawas. So this is what's interesting is he's on, is it Arvala 7? Arvala 7? I had it here somewhere, yeah. Arvala 7. So obviously not Tatooine. So scavengers being scavengers are going to scavenge on any planet that is effectively like those two planets, right? So Jawas are not, they could be everywhere, specifically in the Outer Rim. That doesn't surprise me. But then of course he starts like picking them off like, pew, poof, like just poof into dust, right? Like, I'm like, whoa, dude, it's like, boom, 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 which I thought was spectacular. And then of course they get in and they go, they go away, and then he starts running for it. I'm like, oh man, he's really going to take him on. Like initially I thought he was going to take out the sandcrawler because he knew what to hit, but it kept moving, right? So then that whole battle scene, like things are getting thrown at him, and I mean, that was exciting. I'm like, whoa! But then you notice that the pod is basically chasing the Mandalorian, so you know that there's like some kind of electronic or like some kind of tether that is effectively on. He presses a button on, I think it's his left arm, and then uses his right arm to gesture. He uses this a few different times, but the pod is effectively following the Mandalorian. So I was like, well, I wonder, what's going to come of that. Gets to the top, of course he gets zapped, zappity, boom. I'm like, oh man, falls back, and I was like, okay, no big deal. Oh, I missed a part. Sorry, I did. After the Trandoshan attack, where the child basically approaches the Mandalorian, right, to heal him, I think. I'm thinking, he's going to totally go E.T. on him. He's totally going to go E.T., ouch, Elliot. Remember that? And I was like, that's how he's going to find out. And then, of course, the Mandalorian's like, get back in your pod. So I thought that was cute. I'm glad that wasn't the moment, though, as it, kind of led up into the episode. But anyway, so that I thought was an interesting moment. I thought it was going to go one way. It didn't. But then, of course, then after that scene, then it was the Sandcrawler chase, which I thought was exciting. Didn't know what was going to happen. And then, of course, he goes, and after basically being defeated, goes back to Queel? The Ugnaught Queel? I'm not sure if we've heard it sounded out loud. But he basically explains, no, the Jawas don't destroy. They basically just, scavenge, right? They pick things up for trade. So then they make the journey, and to see the Jawa. And I thought that was, again, it was just very interesting because you're seeing more and more about the Mandalorian's character at that point, right? So could the Mandalorian have exacted revenge and gone and like just wiped them all out? Yeah, he could have, even with Quill there. but didn't, right? So he kind of took the time to listen, like, why should I trade for my parts? You know, he's agitated, but he wasn't so agitated that he was going to, you know, just slaughter all these Jawa, right? He's got some degree, he's got an ethos. He's got ethics. He's got his own ethics, right? He's mad for obvious reason, right? So then we hear about the egg, and then they go into the thing with the what is it, a mud beast, mudhorn, the mudhorn cave, and you know, I had to look all this stuff up online because they don't, like, you know, put lower thirds, you know, mudhorn. That again was an epic battle. And that is also where you can also see him kind of tap his arm and, like, basically, or tap his arm and then gesture the pod out of the way. So it's good that he's got, you know, kind of remote control for the pod. Could come in handy, or that certainly had come in handy. But this was, I think, a spectacular way for him, for us to figure out a few things. One, was this child force sensitive? We had clues, but now we know. And the fact that he's basically pulling a Yoda and levitating this beast, you know, in this fight. And of course, the Mandalorian has no idea what's going on. Even after this had happened, and he was going back with Quill after, I think this is after delivering the egg or before, I can't remember. But basically, they don't know what happened. They're like, it's so bizarre. So the Force, despite us knowing about it, it hasn't necessarily reached, you know, every person in the galaxy, or has impacted every person in the galaxy necessarily. And even Han Solo, to a large degree, was like, you know, doesn't believe in that mumbo jumbo. But this would have certainly been the first time that the Mandalorian would have seen anything like it, and have no context, no description, no anything. And I think that's great. So they have a chance to kind of explore what this is and kind of uncover probably why the cloner, if you didn't notice, the doctor from the first episode, he's got a Camino, or a cloner, basically, I think, a badge on his arm. So effectively, it's not speculation. It is likely they're trying to get the asset, this child, to clone, to reproduce, to have this army of Force wielders, right? So that was, I thought, you know, again, kind of like, whoa, they don't know what's going on. The Mandalorian's obviously seen the power of this child with no description, no touch point, no idea what's going on. And again, I thought that was a great way of revealing the child's power. I thought it was a great way to explain without explaining. And that's what I really like about how the Mandalorian's playing out. It doesn't spoon feed you everything. It doesn't say, you know, it doesn't have people, you know, the Mandalorian narrating everything. It doesn't have, you know, a character narrating everything. You can infer, you can draw conclusions simply by, watching and listening and putting clues together. So I like that. I like the fact that they don't know what's going on. We kind of maybe know more as the audience, but it's interesting to kind of watch that, and it will be interesting to kind of watch that evolve over time, certainly. So yeah, Mandalorian season 2 episode 2, again, fantastic soundtrack. There are very few shows, if any, where I will watch the credits. You should watch the credits, but man, they nail it with the art, the soundtrack, and the art. Like in just everything about the final credits of The Mandalorian is amazing. Everything. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. There's zero doubt in my mind The Mandalorian is going to break records. Disney Plus is, already kind of, I suppose, broken records, but I think it's going to exceed, if it hasn't already exceeded expectations. I can't tell you how many times I've seen from non-Star Wars people the Baby Yoda photo. The Baby Yoda photo floating through my feed. And I'm like going, where's the merch? I understand spoilers, but I'm like, dude, in a few weeks, like around Thanksgiving, there better be some Baby Yoda stuff. There's got to be. If they miss Christmas, that's a big miss. If they miss with the child of Yoda's species. I'm taking this off. I'm getting a little hot. Ooh, resist sweat. But thank Numbskull for sending that ugly sweater along. Okay, so those are my thoughts on The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. They're going to be released in a regular cadence. Someone asked, are they releasing weekly or what? And I think, we get another one this week, yeah. I don't have the exact date in front of me right now. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. Mandalorian release dates. Episode 3 is this Friday, so about a week after. So episode 3 Friday, which means this Friday I may be reviewing season 1, episode 3 or chapter 3, and then the next one Friday. It's Fridays all the way down to pretty much the 18th. Then it's Wednesday, and then Friday 12/27 is episode 8. So man, we are ending this season of Star Wars with a massive bang. It's amazing. Here, let me go ahead. I retweeted that from my Star Wars Radar account, but I'm going to retweet it from my Chris Pirillo account since that's where most of y'all see me. I've got one other thing I wanted to mention. Jedi Fallen Order. I'm playing it for the first time on Wednesday. So this was a GameStop exclusive pin. If you did a pre-order, I did pre-order it on the chroma keyed Xbox One. It's an invisible box. Jedi loved it. She's like, "Oh, it's got my name on it." Yes, it does, Jedi. It does. So I do have the Xbox copy. I don't know if I'm going to be playing the Xbox copy. I will be, however, streaming the PC version of Jedi Fallen Order. The reason why I pre-ordered on Xbox One at GameStop was specifically so that I could get the Purge Trooper exclusive figure that I was told was only available with the pre-order, right? But apparently this was also available starting yesterday, and that kind of upset me. I'm like, wait a minute. One of the primary reasons I pre-ordered was for this figure. I've got this, and I might never play this game on Xbox One. I will probably get the Xbox One exclusive Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order controller. That's expensive, so I may have to wait on a discount for that. But then I also get, I got a $15 Fandango code, so I got a free movie, quote unquote, free movie ticket. Definitely got access to getting a Purge Trooper figure. Got a second Purge Trooper figure. I will unbox this one, however, on Wednesday after I play it. I'm playing it on Wednesday afternoon for Intel for the first time on this PC. Gonna try it. I've been getting motion sick lately with like first-person shooter-esque type of video games, specifically sitting in front of the screen. So I am probably going to like be sitting like way further back. Hopefully not getting motion sick, but we'll be streaming Jedi Fallen Order. I may end up streaming the entire gameplay, if not on Twitch, on my Twitch channel or account, then certainly on the youtube.com/Chris Pirillo plays. So let's go back and see what we got for comments, just starting at the top. I'm not sure what questions we're going to see, so now I gotta invent my own soundtrack. You're more into Festivus than Life Day? It's okay, Ben. Festivus, what is it? The festival for the rest of us? Well, I'm certainly good at the airing of grievances. Devat says, "The Mandalorian is going to be better and more intense than Game of Thrones." I have spoken. That's gonna, that's gonna be a T-shirt. I have spoken. Quill's gonna like front and center. It's gonna happen. Someone's got to work on that. I don't know if I'm excited because it's Star Wars. I'm excited because it's very good story, amazing soundtrack, amazing visuals. Like everything about it is spectacular. 2 episodes in, and it's. I don't know if it's only going to get better. Sometimes you kind of have to let things play out. But given that it's Star Wars, I'm already invested. Like, big time. Big time invested. Let's see here. I'm starting to look like Freddie Mercury. Who wants to live forever? Boy, I'm going way back with these comments, aren't I? What do I think of the Stadia 22 games only? I actually opted not to get the Stadia. I thought I was going to and opted not to. It's not going to happen. So I'll be okay. I'm still playing my Switch, which I'm very happy, and I haven't even had time to play my Switch. I mean, this is another thing, is like, I get so crazy with doing this, that, or the other thing. If I'm not working during the day, then I'm doing other things in the evening, and then if I'm not doing other things, I'm wanting to enjoy my time doing things, right? You know, I love streaming and talking about this stuff and geeking out with y'all, but like, tonight I want to, let me see if this thing is on. There's a couple of other shows that I wanted to catch. There's so much to binge on, and still yet not enough. Hang on just a second. Let's see if this is the one that, I don't know if, oh wait, I'm not logged in here. Okay, well, forget about it. Anyway, there are a couple other shows I may want to watch, and I've been telling Jedi I will play with her. I just haven't done it yet. If there's not one thing happening, there's another. Can't do it all. You can even see the bad guys reflected in the Mandalorian's helmet as they jump above him. Oh, I missed that detail. Yeah, is the background Kashyyyk? It is, Salad Von Bako. Everyone's saying hello to each other. I'm just scrolling through the comments before I get to the end, and then I can wrap up because I've said everything I needed to say. Your mother hates your mom hates Jawas, Liz? They cleaned her glasses at Hollywood Studios and they took forever to clean. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yiddle, is that the name that they're going to be calling the baby or the child? Yiddle? We shall see. Someone else. I'm reading the comments, so I can't talk. I've been watching Resistance also, so it seems to be well put together animated show. It is. I like Resistance. I enjoy Resistance. I'm not talking about it because I'm not sure if as many people are watching it. And I don't know if I'd break down the Resistance the same way as I would the Mandalorian. So, whoa, dude, Dennis, you canceled your Stadia as well. Okay, those are my thoughts, my opinions, but man, that's kind of a shocker. You were kind of excited for it. You were probably more excited than I was, though. Frozen 2 comes out this week. I will catch it on Disney Plus. You hear Disney Plus not showing all their movie content? Why? You'd have to ask them. Question is, Queel, I have spoken. Referencing Anthony Hopkins in Beowulf, or Peter Griffin in Family Guy, who is referencing Beowulf. I don't think either. I think it's just something wise to say. It could be a reference. I don't know. As Liz points out, yeah, it may be that they're not showing all movies because they have license agreements with Netflix and other streaming services, so they can't show some yet. Like Solo isn't on Disney Plus, and there's another one that's not on Disney Plus, but I can't remember. There's a few that aren't on Disney Plus, but they'll eventually go there. That's where they will go. Your theory is that he is Yoda. Time travel should be involved somehow. It has to be. I hope not. Like, it's just too big of a universe. We don't need to be rebooting old characters. Or not even, theoretically rebooting. But we don't need it to be Yoda. It doesn't need to be Yoda to be awesome. So that's the thing. And so I don't think it needs to be. I don't want it to be. And quite honestly, I'll tell you. Number one, Yoda died after the child would have been born at 50 years. Yoda passed away in the Return of the Jedi time frame, and this is not long after. So it's not likely Yoda reincarnated. And time travel got a little weird in Rebels, and still wasn't really clear in terms of what was going on. I don't think that's it, because Yoda came back as a Force ghost in The Last Jedi. So the chance of this being Yoda, really slim, and I think that would be a very bad idea. We don't need it to be Yoda to be really, really cool. In fact, the fact that it's not is even more cool than if it is. That's my opinion. You see more Frozen 2 ads than The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, Frozen is everywhere. I mean, everywhere I go, it's Frozen, Frozen, Frozen. Frozen, admittedly, is November 20th, here in a few days. So, I mean, this Blitzkrieg, Frozen. And I'm like, Star Wars, Frozen, Star Wars, Frozen, Star Wars. And I don't know if that's going to change or pick up, but anybody's guess. I just think Disney blew their entire marketing budget on Frozen. That's what it seems. Okay, there's probably pent-up demand for Frozen. I hope it exceeds their expectations. Frozen ain't my thing. I didn't really get why it was all that popular in the first place, but far be it for me to take away from somebody else's fandom. I mean, I understand the scope of like the Disney princesses, or the scope of, let's say, the MCU, right? Where you've got multiple stories and characters, and even Star Wars to a large degree, but just like one movie is like, okay, man, this dang chair. Shop Disney website has a Rose smartphone case. I haven't seen anything for Rose at all. You never gave the animated Star Wars series a chance. Figured why not? You're already in the Star Wars section of Disney Plus. Consider me hooked. Jose, I told you, Rebels was great. You've got to play it all the way through. Clone Wars is absolutely spectacular. And you, if nothing else, I love Resistance. There's only going to be 2 seasons of it. Loved Rebels, and there were 5 seasons of that. Clone Wars had 6 seasons. You got to watch the Clone Wars because the new series, or the new season of Clone Wars, possibly the final season of Clone Wars, is coming up in spring. So you've got to prepare. In fact, even if you've already seen it, it may be a good time to go back and watch it again. I may try to get Jedi in it, although it tends to be a bit more for teens. It may be a little too much for Jedi. Rebels was right, that right balance for her, even as a youngling. Resistance is fun and upbeat. Resistance is definitely more her vibe. She enjoys the Freemaker adventures, though, on her own volition. She'll ask for Freemaker adventures. She likes that a lot. Is the Dark Ray the real Ray, and Ray is a clone? I don't know. It's interesting speculation. I don't think there is. I don't think Dark Ray is anything but a vision of Ray. Like Luke in the cave, right? Yeah, I don't know. I always hate to kind of go down that path, because talking about it like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if, and then if it doesn't happen, I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to disappoint anybody else. It's another reason why I don't like rumors. Oh, let me go ahead and squash this rumor. Apparently, as I mentioned months ago, I think, or at least a month ago, Samsung finally released details for their Note 10 Star Wars phone. And people are like, someone on Twitter, I know people had asked, but this person today said, oh, I see that you're finally going to get a Samsung. I'm like, oh, they're sending one? I'm good. Like, I'm fine. If I need to change, I mean, would I use one? Would I want one? Yes. Would I love to use one? Absolutely. Would I consider switching? Yes. Am I going to spend another $1,300 on a smartphone after spending $1,000 on this one that's not even 2-3 months old yet? Probably not. So, yeah, that's a massive trade-off. But yeah, would I look at one? Sure. I don't think I'm on their short list for reviews at this stage. Oh, wait. Hang on. John, are you quoting something? He says, revived for a final season of 12 new episodes to be released on Disney Plus, February 2nd, 2020. Yeah, they air on Disney XD right now, but they will, the season 2 will move to Disney Plus after the fact. It's kind of disappointing that it was a short run series. And I think it came along at the wrong time. Or maybe it just didn't catch on for one reason or another. But I think Star Wars has a chance to have new life breathed into it in the Disney Plus construct for sure. Sunshine, good to see you. Do I think, you gotta use quotes, the child, the asset, Baby Yoda, but it's not a baby, and it's not Yoda, but that's what, I know that's what everyone's, it's like, that's gonna be my next clap emoji. It is not Baby Yoda, please. But we don't have a name. And honestly, I don't think we're going to have a name until the end. They're not going to name the asset. Both Quill and The Mandalorian have referred to the child as it. In the third person. Not he, not she, it. Hasn't named. I don't think we're going to get a name. And I don't think we're going to get a species until the end of season 1. That's a big if. Oh man, if they click, oh, this is it's a member of a species not heard of since for millennia, ... And then that's the end of season 1. And then you got to wait for season 2 to find out. Oh man, I would find Jon Favreau and kick him in the nuts if that happened. So, you mark my words, John, I'm coming for your if you do that to me. That would be That would be horrible. A horrible cliffhanger. Let's see here. So anyway, to finish what your question was, do I think the child will appear in the Rise of Skywalker, impart some wisdom in Rey? I don't know. I think it'll be interesting for it to stay within. I like the interesting touch points between Resistance and the films, but I'm not sure how I want, or if we really want a lot of Mandalorian play with what's happening way far out, right? There's not enough continuity between the two. Because you've got one post ROTJ and then one certainly, well after ROTJ, right? It's a completely new generation. So I'm not exactly sure how that'll work out. Can't we all just agree it's a Mogwai? Amen. Just don't feed it lizards after midnight. It will feed itself. I haven't even had a chance. Liz, I've had no time to even watch the Imagineer series. I haven't had time to watch anything. Okay, that's it. I'm going to make time for myself right now. I need some me time, some self-care to go watch some things after I'm done playing with Jedi, whatever she wants to play. I don't know what she wants to play. Hopefully it's not is like she likes to play, but then I have a different idea how to play, and then we end up getting... So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow. With more stuff. I have no idea what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Probably not Life Day, probably not The Mandalorian, but whatever else happens to be on my radar. If not, I will force something to be on my radar. Get it? If we have no other topic, we will talk about my lip brow. How does that sound? Good idea? Mm-hmm. Right there? You like it? Well, like it or not, it's here. Not to stay. I'm gonna keep wearing it until people stop asking about it, and then I'll cut it off. And then people will ask, where'd it go? Then I'll grow it again. Then people will keep asking about it. It's this vicious circle. Don't be vicious. Take care, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, she's not going to play Frozen. Ben, that's one thing. I'm very blessed. She doesn't do that. She doesn't play Star Wars either. But hey, if we don't have to play Frozen, I'm good. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. We'll see you over on Discord at live.pirillo.com. And may the force be with you always.